Welcome, a beautiful Cancers. Thank you for tuning in to this reading for April. Happy spring equinox to you guys. And I feel that I'm kind of doubting. Like, are we going to mention the depth of the dark of the ocean that we have been in March, or are we just going to, you know, keep it inside our shells for this one because we're coming out of it. Okay, I felt like we're coming out of the depth to the surface, and then once we are there, and that will be April for us, we will be able to shine a light up of all the treasures and the wisdom and the lessons and growth that we have actually collected down there in the month of March. I'm sensing that this will be a month where you might surprise yourself. You might actually feel different towards certain things. You might actually be ready to put certain things into motion, and that you kind of already wanted to do, but you didn't really feel ready. You just couldn't really get it started. But I feel this month will be a month where you put things into motion. We're cardinal signs, and we're dealing with some cardinal energy when it's Aries season. So I'm sensing that we'll put things into motion that will definitely benefit us and the people around us and the world at a grander scale, because Mother Earth is here as well. And it's just going through this reset, but not in like erasing everything. It's almost like things falling into place so new things can begin. It's like when a lot of things are up in the air, you're so occupied with that, or you're being pulled into that energy, pulled into that mindset, pulled into that frequency, that it's just impossible to really actually get things into movement. So when things are being reset, meaning falling into place, we actually have space to do other things. Okay, so Mother Earth is calling you in because you're called upon to help with environmentalism. And then it says, you have been indoors too long, go outside and get some fresh air. So I'm sensing that your energy is needed outdoors. Not only is outdoors good for your energy, your presence, your focus, your ability to see things and to appreciate certain things outside in nature is definitely helping with the frequency. It's about you entering outside your own shell and actually exploring spring, and taking spring in and everything that's blooming, and it will have some things to say to you, and you will have stories to tell to them. And I'm really sensing this energy of just showing up, just being outside is already doing things. And of course, we can look at it from a 3D perspective, like what's the use of me just walking outside for like an hour in the forest or inside the park? Like what's the use of that? What am I doing for the world at a grander scale when I'm just going outside for an hour? you know don't question it too much, because it does. Just the energy and frequency that you're in when you do go outside, and your presence there will set certain things into motion. When you have a good day and you feel good, and you're just out there and you're sending out good frequencies, and it's just there, someone on the other side of the ocean can actually meditate and tune into that energy you're sending out. And are we supposed to just focus upon that all the time? No, we're not. Because it's not up to us. It's just about being conscious about your energy, sending out love and light and hope and good energy is definitely beneficial for the world at a grander scale. It will never harm the world, and what doesn't harm the world helps and heals. Okay, so I'm not going to ramble too long about this. Let's get into the tarot for this month. Let's see what it has for my Cancers. We have a new moon. Okay, we have a new moon coming in. on the 1st of April. For some of us, it will be last hour of 31st of March, but let's just keep it at the 1st of April. And that will be in our 10th house. So we are most definitely underestimating the power a 10th house new moon has. Okay? Because this is us right now. Maybe not right now, maybe 2-3 weeks ago. But this has definitely been an energy. 5 of Cups. You know, being comforted with putting in the work, showing up, but not seeing the results that we expected or that we think that we need. But at the same time, the 5 Cups, you know, it's not about the tree that are laying out there. It's about what's behind you. And what is offered to you, what's available. And it's very important to understand that sometimes by losing someone or getting fired from a job or, you know, losing someone to them passing and all of that, you know, a lot of times we focus upon what is releasing, what is stagnant, what's no longer here. But it was never about what you needed to let go. It was about what was growing from the release. What were you gaining from setting something free? And what you're gaining is insanely powerful, Cancer. The Ace of Cups, the Star. That energy is insane. Justice. Boom. Because you deserve it. Let the good times roll, Cancer. Let the good times roll. And for some of us, we are definitely ready, allowing them in. And for some of us, we're still a little bit too focused on the 3 Cups over there. And it's fine, because this month is so powerful energetically that you cannot help but see the good things coming in, and you just cannot help by feeling better, and you just can't help by being inspired and just, you know, wanting to do things differently and finding yourself singing in the shower. You're like, what's wrong with me? I'm singing in the shower. Like, why? You know, I have 20 reasons not to feel so great right now, but I just feel better. I don't know why, I just do. You know, it's a little bit too much, guys. I was too loose in the shuffle. This is very, very in this deck, you have a 10 of Swords twice. You have the Everything is Fine card, and then you have the 10 of Swords. You get them both. So, I said it in the beginning. Are we going to talk about the depth, or are we not going to talk about it? Are we going to mention it, or are we just going to let it be as is and allow the new things to come in? 10 of Swords. It was not easy, okay? Some of us really have reached our breaking points. And what's there? What's at the breaking point? Sorry. So it's not necessarily like what the breaking point is. It's about what's there. You know, sometimes it's about breaking open. And it's like, some people say I have this huge breakdown, and some people will reframe it and say I had this big, amazing, insanely powerful breakthrough. It was excruciating, it was hard, it was deep, it was emotional, it was everything and beyond and beyond, above and beyond. But damn, I can feel like this weight have lifted off my shoulders. I can now see where I want to go. I am no longer afraid of things breaking down, of feeling that way, of getting to that ground, because I was there and I've survived. And so I feel lighter. even though this thing happened, even though I was in a very dark place, or even though I couldn't stop crying for I go 2-3 weeks straight, even though I've lost this, even though I don't have anything left, or I don't have this, or I don't have that, I just cannot help but understanding the bigger picture and understanding that this might actually happen for me and not to me. And what if it didn't happen? I would still be there. And yes, I wouldn't have to go through that phase where I went through, or this pain, or this hurt, or this grief. But at the same time, I also wouldn't have this, or also wouldn't be ready now. And I am. And I'm embracing it. Because I'm not going to sit here sugarcoat the hell that a dark night of the soul can bring you, a depression can give you, a grief, a losing someone, getting fired from your job, or anything, a traumatic experience, even if it's not traumatic, but even if it's just extremely disappointing, extremely painful, extremely hard, extremely stressful, extremely tiring, everything, it can only serve you in the end. In the end, when it ends, when the 10 of Swords happens, when it's done, when it's over, when you've gone through it and you healed through it, and you can only gain from it still. It can no longer touch you, can no longer hurt you. It can only tell you a story that is beneficial for your future, for moving forward. And that's what's coming in. So take a couple deep breaths and say, just breathe. Even if you're still right up in that energy, Cancer, it will get better. You will not be able to stop it getting better. How about that? You won't be able to, because it's just time. Justice is here. Star cards here. 9 of Pentacles. Ace of Cups. Ace of Swords. It's just so divinely guided. And once again, we're not out here trying to rush you into feeling better. We're saying that, okay, it's time to get over it now. Just look at it from a positive angle. No, because sometimes it's just completely consumes your being and you cannot help but feeling that way. It's okay. Just love yourself through it. Just don't blame yourself. Don't put guilt on yourself. Don't put more weight on yourself, or healing quicker, getting out of it quicker, change your mind about it quicker. No. Just say, okay, it's the way it is. Accept it. I know it will be better, but it's not right now. And I'm going to love myself through this. So whatever you can do to work with the energy, work yourself through the energies in the most comfortable way that you can. Sometimes it's about acknowledging it. Sometimes it's about, literally, if you're going through an anxious state, pick up some dumbbells and just start to do some exercising. And you could feel as bad as you want during those exercises, but at least you feel like I'm doing something with this energy. I'm transmuting this energy into this workout. I'm transmuting this energy into this power walk that I'm doing outside. It's okay to feel anxious. It's fine. It's here. It's good. I'm not trying to make it go away, but I am most definitely going to use it and channel it into something else that I have control over. It is like not forcing yourself to fall asleep when you just simply can't. It's like, okay, you know what, my body wants to get up. Let me just walk around. Let me get this drink. Let me get a cup of tea. Let me see if then after that I can fall asleep. It's okay. I'm not going to force myself to do something that I just simply cannot be or cannot do right now. I just can't. It's okay. I'm going to love myself through. I'm not going to force myself to be something I'm not right now. What happens is that you release the power it has over you. Because a lot of times when you, for example, depression hits, the guilt tripping comes up. I'm fine. It's good. I don't want to be a burden. You're not a burden. It's self-talk. Ace of Swords, King of Pentacles. I like that. Like that a lot. With the Tower, the 6 of Swords, the Sun, and the 5 of Swords. Yeah, you're illuminating mindsets, illuminating unhealthy patterns, unhealthy behaviors, and for some of you, had to do with finances. You might actually have had way harder time and way harder, much more mess going on in the background when it comes to your finances you were ever letting on to. It's like, no, I'm everything's fine. I'm super fine. You know, like Ross, I'm fine. I'm fine, it's okay. You know, when you're not fine, sometimes it's much better to say, you know what, no, I'm not okay. I'm not saying I'm giving up on finding a solution, but right now the solution available ain't cutting it for me, and I'm in shit. You know, sorry for the words, but sometimes it's just that. Because the thing is that masking things costs so much energy. So much energy. One time, at one point in my life, I had to go through this phase where if I could make other people believe I was doing fine, I would gain energy from that. I would gain a sense of power from that, sense of strength, sense of willpower. Not power over people, but willpower to make it so. But the thing is, in the end of the day, you're not learning how to allow people inside your shell. And as a Cancer, we're so good at that, and it's so insanely comfortable to be in a mindset like that. You know, and it was like years ago, but it was, if people would believe I was okay, wasn't that I okay? You know? Okay, so you're seeing the fruits of your labor. But you're also seeing the unhealthy patterns and behavior of other people. And you know what? Sometimes it is them, Cancer. Sometimes it's not you. Sometimes it's not your fault. Sometimes it's them. And us enabling them to change because we are trying to find the answers with ourselves. And so we're like, you know, it must be something wrong with me because it's like the third time it happens. It might be something with me because it's like the second person who does this to me. It must be something that I do to not make people tell the truth. It must be something I do or I did for me not be able to be financially stable. It might be something that I did wrong for them to scream at me this way. It might be something that I did wrong for me to feel depressed this way. It might be something that I did. Because you know what, if you're the problem, you can fix it and it's no longer an issue and you don't have to worry about it anymore. But it's not always you. And what do you do in that position? You love yourself through it. And you call people out on the bullshit. And the thing is that as well, you know, that could be one side. Sometimes much more complicated than that. Sometimes it is you fearing something. It's an anxiety. And you just have to be honest about the anxiousness. Open, honest communication. Get the weight off the situation. So the anxiousness is gone because you already told them, so nothing else can happen. You already did. They already know. So you don't have to hide. You don't have to waste your energy with hiding that way. And then if you don't keep the feelings inside, it might not just, you know, bring a toxic situation. The same with other people. It's just like one solution can be the instigator of a much bigger problem. So be conscious about what solution you choose. And I'm sensing every single time they're telling me, speak up, speak your truth, share it. Take away the power that it has over you. And trust that you are surrounded by people that are supposed to teach you that lesson. Meaning that once you finally get out of that tree and say, you know what, no, I'm just being honest. They might actually love you, understand you, appreciate you much more for it, even though you thought that you have to hold up this, you know, this mask. Like the worst thing that could happen is them knowing what you're actually feeling or what you actually are going through, and it's giving you so much anxiety that it's actually affecting the feelings that you have for that person, because all you can feel is that it's hard and it's a lot and it's taking up so much of your space. But the person isn't. It's what you're trying to be for the person, and you're telling yourself you should. Because when you are in the energy, it's really hard to receive as well, because you already are walking around with either this guilt or this weight or this anxiousness. And so nothing comes through the lens of love anymore. It comes through the lens of fear. And that can really bring in toxicity into the relationship. And then the relationship will feel like very toxic and it cannot come back from it. But actually, it's the pattern that you think makes you feel stronger, but actually is bringing in all, the anxiousness and everything in all your areas of your life. So this month, be bold, be brave, speak up, and fight the feelings, of I don't want to be honest, I don't want this, and I don't want them to look at me this way, I don't want them to see me this way. What way? Your circumstances don't define you. You are not your circumstances. You are just literally going through something. But the thing is, your honesty does define you. Being honest about it, being an open, honest person, sharing that, allowing them in, that does define your side of the relationship. And it's really hard for a Cancer to actually feel like we are in this together. You are in a connection, and you are part of the team when it comes to them in your mind. But when it comes to you, you kind of are your own individual. And it's really hard to tell your mind that it's a good thing that they are invested into your side. That's just weird, But then once it happens, I free you up. All the way. All the way. Okay. Let's get a angel answer card. And I'm sorry I'm doing this reading this way. It's just the way I'm channeling it. I'm definitely channeling someone who wanted to speak to you guys today. So that's the way they talk. So I'm just taking it on. And it will find the person that it's supposed to find. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's what they're saying. I'm not going to sugarcoat this because, you deserve so much more. This is a time when you can do whatever you set your mind to if your heart is open. You won't mind. Sorry. You're being asked to do many things at once. You won't mind as long as you know you're making a difference. This card indicates someone who's loving, who's intelligent, who's passionate and fun, which could definitely describe you. This person can handle difficult situations with grace. Beautiful. With grace. Not with all of this going on. This is not handling situation with grace. So, let the universe show you the support. There are some channels that are opening you up, and it's like if you're, put into action, put certain things into motion, with releasing some of that weight, certain areas of your life, keeping things to yourself, opening up to someone, whether it's someone professional or someone that you actually have to talk to. And allow things to illuminate for you, and you're gonna feel so much better, Cancer. I hope this reading was more specifically for certain people, and I hope that I find you, and I hope that I brought you some guidance and some clarity, some answers. I'm sending you lots of love. Have a great month of April, and I will be back soon. Bye, Cancers. Bye.